Excited to get back out there tomorrow night and play against a Eastern Kentucky team that's going to be who just came off a really good win against Northern Kentucky. They're a little bit unique in their style. You know, they're going to press. They play really, really, really hard, and they're going to press the entire game. From minute one to the last second of the game, they're going to try to trap basically on every single possession. You know, we have to do a great job, obviously, taking care of the ball, being disciplined with our pace of play. I think is really important. A.W. Hamilton's a first-year coach there. He does a great job. He's a good friend of mine. Like I said, we're excited to get back out there and play. I'm sure our guys are glad finals are over, and so we can just focus on basketball here over the next month.
That was one of the things I wanted to ask you about, was how do you kind of manage exam week and preparing for a big non-conference game?
Yeah, so we took obviously Sunday off the day after the Cincinnati game, and then we practiced on Monday. Really tried to get their wind at them, just because you don't want to take 2 days off at this time of the year. I think all of a sudden, you know, you lose your wind, and I want to keep our guys in shape. So we got up and down a little bit. Didn't compete too much on Monday, but again, just ran up and down the floor. We went short on Monday, so our guys, again, could focus on the finals. Tuesday we took off, and then we competed really hard on Wednesday, really hard on Thursday, and we're going to compete really hard again today on Friday. And you know, the nice thing I always say about Christmas break, it's a great opportunity to get better. You got a lot of time. There's no academics. There's no classes. You know, our guys be able to get extra shots up, extra workouts. I think it's a great opportunity to get better and really flip around your season.
Coach Hamilton coached at Hargrave, which is where Najee was before he came here, and you mentioned you were friends with him. How far did you go back, and was it through Hargrave that you really got to know him? Yeah, it is. You know, he was an assistant coach at Hargrave when I knew him a long time ago, and I actually had sent Stanley Burrell. Here it ended up at Xavier to Hargrave, and a kid named Armand Bassett, and A.W. was the assistant coach then. Then he took over when Kevin Keats left for the collegiate ranks of coaching. So I've known A.W. for a long time. He does a great job. I think he's doing a terrific job down there at Eastern Kentucky. They play really, really hard. They do, and that's just takes on their personality, his personality, and you know, so he's going to do a good job. And I know Najee is excited to see him and compete against him, and he has a lot of respect for him as well. Is this frenetic style of play something that he also had at Hargrave, or is it specific to this team now?
It's how he's always played. That's how Hargrave's always been, even when Kevin Keats was the head coach there. And then obviously A.W. kept it going, and Lee Martin has now at Hargrave, the head coach that's currently there. You know, they're going to run and jump the entire game. It's not going to be a token press. I mean, it is going to be a legit press. They're going to trap every single possession, and you know, they try to put a lot of pressure on you. You know, and they force different guys to make basketball decisions and handle the ball, and we have to do a good job in that area.
It seems like a lot of what they do, particularly offensively, runs through Nick Mayo. I think, you know, 24 points per game, 9 rebounds. He leads them in basically every statistical category. How do you go about trying to stop a guy like that?
He's a terrific player, Mayo is, and he's going to be a big challenge. You know, like I think you're right. I think he averages a little bit over 24 a game. He's 7 points off the school record, being the all-time leading scorer. He can score in a lot of different ways. He can score in the post. He can shoot the ball. He's a pick and pop guy at the 5, which is unique. He can drive the ball. He's hit a couple game winners this year. He's a tremendous player. We got to make his catches tough. He has to see a crowded floor, and it's going to be not just one guy. It's going to be guarding him. It's going to be all 5. All 5 eyes all 5 sets of eyes for Xavier need to be on him every single time down the floor, because that is the guy that they play through. And you know, we played against a guy a few weeks ago from Oakland. You know, Xavier Hill Mays, and he was kind of the same way, ultra skilled, and he hurt us in the first half. I thought we did a much better job in the second half. It's going to be similar tomorrow, just with the game plan. We gotta answer that bell and answer it early, because he is a tremendous player. He'll be one of the better players that we play all year.
Travis, do you think people underestimate how much a team improves throughout a season? That people look at what you are in December, and as a coach, that's not what you want to look like in March. Do people underestimate? Do you think sometimes that you're not a finished product right now, and the more you improve, that you can get to where you want this team to get to?
Yeah, I do. I think like I've said this a few times. I think sometimes coaches, players, fans, everybody overreacts to one win or one loss, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and it's just about sticking with it every single day, and coming to practice with good enthusiasm, and just being willing to work. And, I think the thing for us is we don't change game to game. Joe, we try to stay the same every single game as far as just who we are. Our defensive doesn't change. How we guard ball screens doesn't really change. How we defend in the post. And hopefully those habits can continue to form throughout the year. And then by the end of the year, we should look a heck of a lot different than we did at the beginning.
I thought it was interesting after the UC game that Quentin said we need to listen to our coaches. And obviously watching practice, we see you have everything laid out for them, the scout with the assistants. Is there a disconnect between what you're telling the guys and what the guys are doing on the court? Are they listening?
Yeah, I think they listen, Shane. I think, again, I think UC game was the first road game we've had. And I thought the environment they did, it was a buzzsaw in there. It was loud, and I think our guys probably got caught up in the emotions of the game. I thought early on, I thought we took some quick shots. But again, I want our guys to play with freedom. I want them to play with confidence, but at the same time, understand who we are. And I keep on saying that to those guys. Like, they got to have an understanding of where our bread has to be buttered, and that's around the rim. Whether it's through post-ups, through drives, and then if that produces a shot on the perimeter, then great. Then I have no problem in that. And if you look at our numbers, once the ball goes inside and then it's kicked out to the three-point line, your percentages go way up. And rather than maybe taking a shot without the ball ever entering the paint area, like, we have to be committed to getting paint touches through post-ups, through drives, and through offensive rebounding. And I don't think that they necessarily don't listen to. I think sometimes those guys just get caught up in the game sometimes, and they try to please. And they're working hard, and we got coachable guys. We just got to continue to get better.
Obviously, I think we'll get a lot better answer to this question tomorrow night, but do you like how your team has responded to that shootout loss right now? I think I was talking to someone within the program, and the point they were trying to make was sometimes kind of getting your butt kicked in that game can be a very good wake-up call. So how do you think that they've responded so far?
Yeah, I think good. I think our guys have competed. They've done a good job in practice. I've been in the shootout losses where I thought we got out-competed and out-toughed. I don't think that was necessarily the case in this year's shootout. I thought it was all of our offense, to be honest, and just our inability to stick with the game plan and execute the game plan and understand who we are. And again, I'm trying to keep on getting those guys to understand it. And the quicker that we do understand that, and understand who we are, the better the team that we'll be. Because our defense has gotten significantly better over the last 2.5 weeks. Our numbers have shown that. And I think, again, just understanding who we are on that offensive end, like, we got to grow up in that area and mature quickly, especially with the schedule that we have.